Me too.
Well, somebody had him down. It's got to be up.
Well, we both had him up.
Oh, you did not. You just know they're supposed to be up and you still had him down. You don't think how silly it looks when we're not all together.
That's what practice is for, so we can get together.
Well, I just know at the pep rally last week, you both had yours down and I had mine up. It made it look like I was all wrong when I was right.
Mary, it's pom-poms. Up on put them all together and down on one you got, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, but you don't have to tell me. I always do it that way.
Okay, so we do the 3 cheers, and then the band plays Hold That Tiger, and we move around clapping. Now let's get those kids to clap.
That band plays so awful, it's hard to keep time.
Well, maybe we could sing, you know, teach the kids the words to Hold That Tiger.
What words? It's just hold that tiger, over and over again.
Well, that's what I need.
Well, that's silly. Nobody wants to sing that over and over.
They'd get bored, so let's just move around clapping, and for heaven's sake, smile. You two both act like you just lost your best friends. Pep rallies are supposed to raise spirits, not make everyone feel bad.
Well, it's hard. Nobody has any spirit. We're out there screaming and crying, and nobody cares.
That's why we've got to make them care.
Remember at last week's game when that guy shouted for us to shut up? He said he couldn't keep his mind on the game for all we were doing.
That's because you kept yelling, push it back, way back, when the whole time it was our team that had the ball. So there we were, telling the other team to push our team back.
I've just never been so embarrassed.
Okay, I was wrong. But you could have told me I don't know anything about football.
Well, when we have the ball, you yell something like, get that point, or do it again, harder, harder.
Get that point is for when we kick the ball between those 2 posts, not when we're running a touchdown.
When do we do block that kick?
Oh, let me make this clear. When we kick the ball, you yell, get that point. When they kick the ball, you yell, block that kick. And when they have the ball, you yell, get that ball.
Well, what do we yell when we have the ball?
Well, you yell something encouraging like, go,
Or go all the way.
You can't yell go all the way on a football field. What will people think?
Oh, Mary.
Now, back to this pep rally rundown. So the band plays Hail That Tiger and
Hold that tiger.
Hold That Tiger. And then the coach says a few words about the team. Then we make the victory sign and sing the school song.
I think we ought to make an announcement that anyone sitting in the card section tonight has got to do his job. Those cards were a mess last week, and if they're not going to flip them right, then they should just sit someplace else.
I died when they spelled out yay team and it turned out to be yay meat.
Well, we'll just have to tell someone we can trust to get there and sit there early. I don't know what else we can do.
Well, if they spell out yay meat again tonight, I'll just leave the field. What's the team supposed to think when they look to the stands for encouragement and they see a huge sign reading yay meat?
I don't know, but it makes sense to me. The whole team's just good enough to eat.
Now enough of that.
And about the invocation, did you get someone for that?
Me? Our minister did it last week.
I know our minister did it. Now we have to get someone else. We can't have a Baptist every week. Don't you know anyone?
Well, I guess I could call the Jehovah's Witnesses and see if they'd be willing to pray at the game if we let them hand out their little books.
Well, just get someone. And whoever it is, tell them to make it short. Nobody listens anyway.
And I wish somebody would do something to pep up the national anthem. I mean, we stand there with our hands over our hearts singing while most people are down at the snack bar getting French fries. Makes me feel stupid.
Well, we'll just have to do our best.
Sometimes I feel like it's all for nothing. They don't even look at us. They just watch the game.
It's lack of spirit, I tell you. I love that team out there hitting and getting themselves killed for the school. Sometimes I think all those people in the stands just want to have a good time.
It's the band's fault. They play at the worst times. They don't even look to see what we're doing. Sometimes they start the baby elf and walk right in the middle of our yells.
If they play Moon River again tonight, I'll scream. It puts everyone in such a down mood. How are we supposed to score a touchdown when they're playing Moon River? Everyone goes to sleep.
Well, there's nothing we can do about the band. Just ignore them. They're no good anyway.
Creeps. All those girls with glasses and pimples, and all those boys with glasses and pimples.
Creeps. How many girls from the band have ever been elected to anything at this school?
0.
Zilch.
Who said?
The girls in the band are the worst. And those majorettes go to the other extreme. I just don't understand why being a baton twirler automatically makes a girl easy.
Just look at Sarah. I used to like her, but the very moment she became a majorette, her reputation went downhill.
My mom said that if she ever caught me going for a Coke in the same car as Sarah, she'd ground me. She said that Sarah was trash and that her whole family was trash, and that if I associated with trash, I would get what was coming to me.
Isn't it just funny that I used to like her? I just don't know how some girls let themselves in for so much talk.
And what makes me furious is that all the boys love her.
Of course they do. Respect her, they don't. Love her, they do.
Did you guys see who she was on a date with last weekend?
Sure I did. Jim and I sat right behind them in the show. If Sarah would like to make out, I wish she'd do it in the car, not in the show.
Sometimes I think she just wants us all to see her.
Jim was so hot after watching Sarah that we barely got back to the car before he was all over me.
It's hard enough to keep boys down to petting and necking without Sarah putting other ideas in their heads.
The ideas are already in their heads. Sarah just puts it in their hands.
I just don't understand, boys. I'm glad Ted respects me because I love him. And if he ever tried to go too far, I don't know what I'd do.
He'll try. They all try. Jim loves me, but every night it's a battle. I have to turn to him and say, Jim, keep it in your hands.
I just can't imagine how some girls could lose their self-respect. If I wasn't a virgin, I'd hate myself.
Amen.
Well, I just worry about what Jim will try next. When we first started dating, I let him kiss me. And then we started going steady, and I let him kiss me and touch me lightly. On the top only. And then he gave me his football leather jacket, and I let him rub up against me. All clothes on, mind you. And now he's giving me his football jersey. I guess he can put his hand up my shirt. But with every gift, I give a little more. He's got more gifts lined up than I've got parts to give.
You can't give in. What happens after you finally give in?
I just know that sometimes when Jim drops me off, he goes right over and picks up Sarah. It's not fair. I hate how my mom makes me come in at 10 on weekdays and 12 on weekends, and Sarah can stay out all night long with our boyfriends.
Well, Ted wouldn't do that. He just wouldn't. He's not like Jim. He's true to me.
So is Gary.
He's not true. I know for a fact he's been out with Sarah.
Well, why would you say that?
It's true.
No, it's not. You just don't like the fact that Jim plays around, so you want me to believe that Gary does too. Well, he doesn't.
If I thought for 1 minute that Ted had seen Sarah, I'd kill myself.
Gary went out with her last week. I didn't want to tell you, but I saw them together.
Where? You just tell me where.
He wouldn't be dumb enough to take her out for a Coke or anything. Last Thursday, instead of going to the library, Jim and I went to the drive-in. Gary was parked right in front of us. They were hopping from the front seat to the back seat, and they didn't watch a minute of the movie. I just knew it was Sarah.
It wasn't Sarah.
I'll swear it was. It looked just like her.
It wasn't Sarah.
Nobody else would trashy Sarah would carry on like that at a drive-in.
It wasn't Sarah. Last Thursday, Gary went to the drive-in with me.
Mary, I thought your mother wouldn't let you go to the drive-in.
She won't, and if you tell her, I'll never speak to you again.
Well, we've got to get back to planning things. We still need a theme for football dance.
All the games are so corny, and the football dance is always the same as the prom. Balloons. There's got to be something else besides balloons.
Well, I was thinking about an over-the-rainbow theme. We could build a giant chicken wire rainbow from one end of the gym to the other and stuff it with colored Kleenex.
That sounds more like the prom to me. Shouldn't the football dance have something to do with football?
And it doesn't seem right not to use the school colors.
But they always do that. Pictures of the tigers and footballs and blue and yellow crepe paper streamers. It always looks the same.
Well, what we need is a theme that goes with a good old song. A theme song, like Twilight Time. That's an all-time favorite.
Oh, I like that. And we can hang stars and stuff from the ceiling and make it look like heaven.
What about theme from the apartment?
Oh, I like that.
We could divide the gym into separate little apartments with couches and kitchens and beds.
It still doesn't have anything to do with football.
What song does?
Let's do Twilight Time for the football dance and theme from the apartment for prom. That makes sense.
I'll wear a blue dress for the football dance, and what do you wear to go with theme from the apartment?
That's the problem. I'll just bet that everybody will wear blues to football dance, and theme from the apartment is so casual. It's not a dress theme.
Well, what can we do?
Well, if we did it over the rainbow for the football dance, then everybody could wear all colors, just like the rainbow. And then for prom, we would do another all-color song like Portrait of My Love.
Oh, wonderful. We'll have pictures of people, portraits all over the walls. And maybe some hearts and cupids to represent love.
I like that.
Okay, then it's decided. It's over the rainbow for the football dance. I'll do the rainbow, and you two can get the refreshments in the band. And then for prom, Joanne, you do the decorations, and we'll do the other. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Now, more importantly, you know one of us is bound to be elected football queen.
Oh, I hope you get
Well,
it.
I hope you get it.
One of us will get it. After all, we are the cheerleaders.
Well, as head cheerleader, Kathy should be the queen and Mary and I will be her court. It's only right.
Right. As you know, it's the football team that does the voting. And we just gotta get Queen in her court or it'll be awful.
Well, as for myself, I don't care. But if you two don't get it, I'll just die.
Well, one of us is bound to get it. I think we should throw a Coke party for the team.
And I'll talk to Ted, Gary, and Jim to make sure that they get the team to vote for us.
One of us has to get it.
Well, I think we should throw the Coke party.
And I'll have Jim spy around the locker room to listen for hints, to see if anyone else is going to get it. If we hear anything, we'll just cancel the dance.
If anyone else gets it, I'll break her neck.
Well, we can't cancel the dance, but we can make it so awful nobody will stay long enough to see her crown.
Well, I've just never been so worried. How could they do this to us?
We don't have to worry as long as we do our work. One of us is bound to get it.
I hope you get it.
No, I hope you get it.
One of us will get it. Now let's see. That's the Coke party on the 15th, and then the dance on the 16th. And all we have left is the banner. What should we say?
Well, they're the Cougars, so how about claw the Cougars?
Cream the Cougars.
Crush the Cougars.
We used Crush 2 weeks ago, remember? Crush the Coyotes.
I like claw and cream.
Well, what about crack the Cougars?
That doesn't sound right.
Or Can the Cougars.
Can we chant that?
Can the Cougars! Can the Cougars! Can the Cougars! That works!
Okay, so it's can the Cougars, can the Cougars.
Is there anything else?
No, I don't think so. Pep rally, football dance, Coke party, prom. No, I really think that's it.
Well, where are y'all going after the game?
That depends on if we win or lose. If we lose, I'll probably go home. If we win, Jim will want to go parking.
I hope we win. If we don't win, I'll just scream.
Well, why don't we all go to my house after the game?
Does your mother care?
Her and Daddy are supposed to be going down to the lake for the weekend.
My mother would faint if she knew we were having a party and your parents weren't there.
Well, Ted won't want to come if we don't win this game.
Well, how about if we win, we'll all come over to my house. And if we lose, the guys can go home and sulk, and we'll have a summer party.
I can't stay over. My mom says I have to stay home until my grades come up. She just doesn't understand that I don't have time to care about my grades.
You have to care. We'll never get into college if our grades are bad. Have you mailed in an application?
No. Have you?
No.
Well, why don't we mail them in at the same time? We'll meet up at the post office and we'll mail it at the same time.
Maybe then we'll all get accepted at the same time. I just faint if you two got in and I didn't.
And we've got to get our dorm reservations in. If we want a room together, we've got to get them in.
My mom says we should stay at Holman Hall. That's where she stayed and it's the best.
Well, can we get a room for 3?
Yeah, I hope so.
Well, if not, you two can live together and I'll live alone. I don't mind.
We'll try and get a room for 3.
No, I don't mind. I don't mind being alone. I'll probably go insane, but I don't mind.
Well, let's just wait and see. Maybe we can get adjoining rooms.
Has Jim sent in his application yet?
He's still waiting for a football scholarship.
Well, what'll we do if Gary, Jim, and Ted don't go?
Well, they all want football scholarships.
Well, I just don't know what to do. If Ted goes somewhere else, I'll never see him again. I have to go where he goes.
He wants to go to the same place you do.
Well, he just has to. I can't stand the idea of a new school with new people. What if they all hate us? What if we're not popular?
Well, I can't imagine not being popular.
What if all the popular girls from all the high schools go to our college? Then who will be most popular?
She's right. What if we're not in the same sorority? What if we're nothing?
Oh, it's different for boys. They're in football and they're immediately in. We have to start all over.
It just makes me not want to go at all. I can't bear to see high school end. I bet all those girls in college are all pretty and all have cars and all have the same idea we have.
Well, we'll just have to stick together. If you guys can't pledge, I won't. There's safety in numbers.
And just think, the best part will be nobody hanging over us. I can't wait to get away from my mother. I won't miss her 1 minute.
Just think of all those pretty girls. I'm going to make Ted promise not to date anyone but me. If I could talk him into getting engaged, he wouldn't dare.
Maybe Jim and I should live together.
You can't do that. It's not right.
Besides, the college won't let you.
Freshmen have to stay in dorms.
Well, there's so much to think about. Boyfriend sororities, and I don't think there's a chance the world will all get to be cheerleaders there.
Oh, I hope you are.
You're head cheerleader here. You should be. Surely they'll realize that.
Sometimes, when I think of life without cheerleading, I just don't know what I'd do. I've been a head cheerleader from grade school up until now.
You're the best.
All I've ever wanted to do is to be a cheerleader.
You have been.
Well, I don't know what I want to do. Where it says in the application, course of study at the university, I just had to leave it blank. I don't want to study history or English or math. If I have to see another fraction, I'll just spit.
I think I want to study psychology.
It's so hard.
I'd like to know what makes people tick.
Oh, so hard. There's just nothing I want to study. I want to go to college, but I sure don't care to learn anything.
I think I'll study PE. I can teach PE.
Teach? Oh, I do not want to teach. I couldn't stand it.
Well, it's not like teaching normal classes. All you do is play games, and I already know all the games.
Well, you two make me feel awful. You both know exactly what you're doing, and I haven't a clue. Nothing's going to be any fun after we graduate.
Stop thinking on the dark side. I think college is going to be a blast.
Well, I wish I knew for sure. I'll probably lose Ted, not be liked, and end up with a degree in nothing.
It's almost time for class. Did you do your English?
I just couldn't read that Silas Marner.
Once I found out that George Eliot was a woman, I got all confused.
As long as none of us did it, we'll be okay. Kathy, can I borrow your math homework? I worked out all the problems, but I didn't get any of the answers. I'll just copy yours.
Okay, but I can't guarantee that they're right. I had Gary do them. He's better at geometry than I am.
What's the date?
Friday.
I know it's Friday, otherwise we wouldn't be having a football game tonight. Friday, November what?
22nd.
Okay, so you can give that back to me during study hall, and if you guys can get out of choir, then we'll make the Cannon Cougars banner.
I can't get out of choir. I'm flunking it.
I can get out. I never sing anyway. I'm just a soprano alternate, so I sit there until some soprano gets sick. They never do.
Well, then we'll make the banner, and Mara, you can go to the newspaper after school and tell about the dance. We don't want to go through all the trouble of planning it just to find out future farmers of America have planned their harvest dance over the rainbow theme.
I knew I'll find out if the guys want to go to Kathy's tonight. I'll come up with a lie to tell my mother.
Do you have the car?
No, I couldn't get the car tonight. I have to get a ride with someone else. Besides, if I had a car and Jim had a car, then we'd have 2 cars.
Well, I can get Gary's car. I'll pick you guys up, and Gary can get a ride to the field with Jim or Ted. Then we won't have an extra car.
Good thinking.
Great. Last week, I left my parents' car at the field all night. They practically killed me.
You stayed out all night? Well, how? What'd you do?
Well, we just gotta make this the best pep rally of the season.
We've got to get those kids to care about the team.
Well, we have a couple of minutes, so we should practice. Ready? Okay.
2, 4, 6, 8. Who do we appreciate? Tigers! Tigers! Woo! Hit 'em in the left side, hit 'em in the right. Go you Tigers! Fight, fight, fight! Hit 'em in their bellies, hit 'em in their heads. Kill the Cougars! Dead, dead, dead! Woo! Tigers!
May I have your attention, please? Students, we want all of you to report to your homerooms immediately.
What is he talking about?
I repeat, go to your homeroom.
I hate homeroom.
We have a report, and only a report, that, excuse me.
I bet someone stole something from the lunchroom again.
Students,
This school is full of
I'm
thieves.
sad to announce that the president has been shot.
The president of the student council has been shot?
The
My God!
president was gunned down in Dallas.
Dallas? I just saw him in algebra.
If this report is true, classes will be dismissed for the rest of the
Well,
day.
what about the pep rally?
In any case, the football game will take place as planned this evening.
Oh, thank God!
Don't tell me what to do. Don't time.
Get this. High above a pie-pie's garter, high above her knee, lies a pit of pie-pie passion.
Oh, too much! That's horrible!
Lift your skirt up, lift it higher.
Oh,
Over on the
stop!
grass. I would live, I would die for some pie. You should have seen those bleach blondes turn right back to their natural color. It was great. Just great.
I would have died just to die.
I would have loved it.
If they pulled out on us a serenade, I don't know what I'll do.
I'd shout. Serenades are dumb. I never understood why fraternities stand outside the sorority house and sing. Then you have to invite them in for punch and cake. It's so boring.
Well, I don't think it's such a bad idea. I mean, they get the Greeks together. God knows there's enough rivalry on this campus.
Rivalry's good. What I hated if all the Greeks were alike. Can you imagine being a Tri-Delt or an AD Pi? Jesus.
I wouldn't want to be anything but a Kappa. If I wasn't a Kappa, I'd just not be anything. KKG. KKG. KKG eternally.
What do you think of this color?
Neat. Is it Revlon?
Estee Lauder.
You switched? Well, let's have it shade. Can I try it?
If we don't get a good spring pledge class, it's KKG right into the gutter. Have you seen this group of losers going through rush?
Tacky and stupid. This looks darker, Mary. Look, it's a whole shade darker.
It's lighter when it dries.
Well, I certainly hope so. Right now it just looks dirty.
I mean, we have to pledge some of them. There's a whole group of awful girls whose great-grandmothers were Kappas, so we have to pledge them. Take this girl, for instance, Faye Jean Norris.
Oh, what an ugly name. I bet everyone calls her Faye Jean, too.
She never did anything in high school except make National Honor Society one semester.
That doesn't guarantee she's smart.
But every blasted person in her family was a Kappa. I did some checking and found out that her father works in a factory and her mother is a dressmaker.
Ooh, I can't wait to see those cute little frocks she'll wear at Rush.
But every person in her family was a Kappa, so she has more alumni recommendations than anyone else this spring.
I just can't believe that her mother was a Kappa and turned out to be a dressmaker. How could that happen?
Well, from the looks of these letters, there'll be at least 5 girls that we have to nominate, whether we want to or not.
Well, I need to know. Do you think it's right to be hard on some pledges just because we hate them?
There's one thing that nobody on this campus does, and that's joke about a Kappa.
We'll be cruel at Rush, absolutely sadistic. I don't even consider a girl who's liable to break the house rules. This is the best house on campus, and if we start letting girls wear jeans to dinner and smoke, then Kappa is finished.
What does smoking have to do with it? I smoke.
I know, and I wish you'd stop. You stink up the whole place. Ew.
At least half the girls in the sorority smoke.
In their rooms. I don't care what the girls do in private, but you shouldn't smoke in public. It's unladylike.
For God's sake, Joanne, if it were up to you, nobody would do anything but treat this house like it were a shrine. It is perfectly ridiculous to have girls sign in and out when they go on dates. The very idea that they have to be in the house at a certain time is also perfectly ridiculous.
But you have to agree that some Kappas are too immature to cope with complete freedom. They take advantage of it.
We have to have house rules.
But right now, this place is so oppressive that most of the pledges are scared to death. We ought to relax the silly out-of-date rules and let the girls loose.
I don't think that this sorority is the place for girls who want to be loose.
We just need to find a group of girls who are friendly and will support the image.
No flower children, no drugs or guitar players.
It's our duty as officers to make sure that we leave Kappa the way we found it, the best sorority on campus.
We're the tops.
But you know the song, The Times They Are A-Changin'? Well, they are.
I don't think the times are a-changin'. I think this world is just in a crazy phase.
We're past the time you can take girls and cram them into an image. It's not important. Sororities today have to do more than just throw teas and dances.
Well, I think we do a lot. Remember the litter campaign and the leaf-breaking project? We cleaned up the whole campus. And the entire sorority gave blood.
It's our last semester, Mary. We can't change Kappa now. The best we can do is make sure that we find a group of good girls to carry on after us.
Well, I'm just not so sure that they need to be good girls. We should let them grow up and be women.
That's silly. What else would they grow up to be?
I don't know, Joanne. Ducks?
Can we please get on with this meeting?
Yeah, we have a lot to do. Look, Mary, this did dry lighter, but it's not me. Do you have some remover?
I think it looks nice.
No, I better get rid of it. Ted would have a fit if he saw my nails all painted up like a horse.
I always paint my nails.
That's your style, Mary. Your style on me makes me look cheap.
You have short fingernails.
Do I? Oh, look, I do. I hate my hands.
Let's discuss spring. Spring is an SOB.
Let's discuss the SOB. Mary?
Sure.
Well, the way I see it is that we'll mop up the awards during spring semester. If we can win Spring Carnival Skit, the Panhellenic Olympics, and Sing Song, it'll be the first. None of the Greeks have ever won all three in the same year before. Mary, are you listening?
All ears.
Well, what do you think?
You know damn well we'll win the Olympics. With you coaching, we'll win. We've got a good chance at Carnival Skit. We won that last year.
Sing Song's the bummer.
We need a theme.
That's the key to Sing Song. A good theme.
Well, most of the groups do medleys from Broadway shows, but Rodgers and Hammerstein's has been done to death.
If someone does Oklahoma again, I'll puke.
The Girl on the Roof is out.
The Jewish sorority always does that.
We can't do West Side Story. That's Puerto Rican.
Or Flower Drum Song.
Oriental.
What about Porgy and Bess? Oh. Well, what we need is an American musical.
There's Bye Bye Birdie.
I don't know. Bertie goes off to war, and with Vietnam, that might be too controversial.
Let's not do anything about the war. Let Lyndon Johnson do something about the war.
Well, I was thinking about Hair.
What about Hair? I thought we were talking about Sing Song.
Hair is a musical. It's an off-Broadway show. It's a big hit.
Oh, we could wear matching evening gowns and groovy hairstyles.
No, it's about peace and love and sunshine.
Well, love and sunshine sound good, and peace symbols are big on campus.
But why do they call it hair?
Yeah, it's all about peace and love and sunshine. What does that have to do with your hair?
Well, it means let your hair down. Relax. Be cool.
Oh, that's all right. I guess I vote for Hair.
Sure. So, it's Hair for Sing Song. I'll whip the Olympics into shape, and you two can work on Spring Carnival.
Well, I vote against another kissing booth. It was my booth.
Well, everyone hated it. But they did like the one where you throw a penny and try to win a parakeet.
But all those parakeets died last year. Well, people didn't care if they were dead or alive. They still wanted to win them. Listen, a friend of mine won one.
Any friend of yours would just love a dead.
Let's keep the booze down, pitch a penny, and go fish.
2 booths are enough.
And we'll use the same skit as last year, just change the name of the characters and the costumes.
But that's what we did last year and the year before. How long can we keep on doing the same old skit?
As long as it continues to win.
I see.
So we'll change the name from Sorority Scandals to something like Campus Capers.
Or Kappa Capers.
Or Kappa Capers.
Didn't I just say that?
What do you think, Mary?
Just as long as I don't have to be in it again. Let somebody else play Snow White.
I'll be Snow White.
You are Snow White.
Thank you, Mary.
And we'll have to change the costumes. Kappa Capers kind of sounds to me like crime capers.
Ooh, like 007?
Sure, we'll wear trench coats and floppy hats and black hose stockings. We'll dress like crooks.
But we'll have some good guys, won't we?
Well, sure, we can't all be bad.
Want to bet?
Well, I think it's a great idea.
Okay, so it's decided. So those 4 big events before we graduate. Rush, Hair, Kappa Capers, and the Olympics.
Graduation at last.
Then my wedding at last. Have you two ordered those bridesmaid dresses?
Is this meeting over?
You still haven't ordered the dresses?
Well, we haven't exactly gotten to that yet.
How could you put that off? The biggest event in my life, and you can't find the time.
Frankly, Joanne, I don't care much for the color.
How can you say that?
When you said that your wedding clothes were green and white, I pictured something like avocado, not lime green.
Why did you choose those colors to begin with? The sorority colors are blue and baby blue.
And the university colors are blue and red.
And the high school colors were blue and yellow.
It only makes sense to use blue.
Green is better for weddings. You can serve all sorts of green things. Cucumber sandwiches, green salad, green grapes. It makes it easier for teas and showers. You can even make punch for the reception out of ginger ale and lime sherbet. There's no such thing as blue sherbet.
I guess blue food is a turnoff.
Well, of course. When I was deciding on a color, I told Ted I felt rotten about not using blue. I mean, he loves blue too. But he said blue or lime, who cares? Big deal.
Boys don't care about color.
Of course not, so you better go down and get those lime dresses. What if they sell them to somebody else? I'll have a heart attack.
Okay, we'll go down right after classes tomorrow.
Promise?
Promise. Swear.
I have to go down there anyway to pick up my passport application.
When do you think you'll leave?
Just as soon as I marry you off. I don't ever want to see another textbook again. Getting a one-way ticket to Europe, and I may never come back.
But what about Brian, your pin?
Oh, Brian, who cares? It's a convenience. Isn't it funny how you and Ted have been together for so long? I've changed my boyfriends like I've changed my sweater sets.
Well, it's not that funny. I mean, when you go with someone for 6 years, then naturally you marry them.
I lived with Gary for 6 years, and then he married someone else.
Oh, I forgot.
I suppose that if we'd made it to 7, we'd be planning a double wedding.
So do you hear from Gary?
Since when do married guys call their ex-girlfriends?
You're so brave. I don't know what I would have done if after 6 years Ted had dropped me and married someone else. I would have slit my wrists.
I jumped for joy when Jim and I finally split. When we got to college, we tried to stay together, but we just got bored with each other. Blame it on sex.
Oh, I do not want to hear about this.
The pill changed my life.
I don't know how you can take those things.
I'm telling you, the pill is great. You should get some.
Since when does a virgin need the pill?
Sad, but true.
Well, I haven't had to use for it since Gary split. He was my first and last.
I can't believe you two.
I'm just not interested in sex.
Does Ted know that?
All I know is that I'm getting married after 6 years of not giving in. It's more than you can say.
It doesn't make a difference either way. I went with Gary for 5 years before we started having sex. And the whole 6 year we slept with each other, and it was the best. Then one day he calls and says he's met someone new, and within a month they were married.
It was so awful. I cried for you.
I wondered why. Did he suddenly want a virgin? A new conquest? Was he just tired of me?
It wasn't your fault.
But I'll just never understand why he married her. She's just awful. She wasn't even in a sorority.
I found out she was pregnant.
What?
I've been taking those pills because Gary wanted me to, right? So one day he goes out, they get together, she gets knocked up, he marries her.
There's no justice.
You never told us this. We're your best friends and you never told us.
I knew.
You did? You told Mary but you couldn't tell me? Why?
Well, Joanne, I felt like such an idiot. I've been pouring pills down myself to keep from getting pregnant so that Gary wouldn't have to marry me, when really I wanted to be pregnant and married. So she was stupid and got it. I was smart and lost it. Suddenly it seemed like she was smart and I was stupid.
He obviously didn't even want to marry her. He just had to.
I bet they hate each other.
I see him on campus every now and then. We wave and we start to talk, then we don't. What do you say?
Well, I just know he still loves you.
I saw his wife. She works at the dress shop over on the drag. She didn't look pregnant.
His wife works?
She lost it.
Well, I bet she wasn't a very good salesperson. God, you mean the baby?
So there was no real reason to marry her, unless he just happens to love her.
Well, you better just forget it, because you'll never know.
I hope he does love her. Loves her a lot. I wouldn't want him to be unhappy.
I don't know why not. He made you miserable.
Poor Kathy. You've kept this to yourself all these months. It's awful that you felt you could tell Mary, but you couldn't tell me.
Well, that's the breaks.
Here my life is going along just as I had planned. And yours, Kathy, is a mess.
You'll meet new men. I didn't think about Jim once after we broke up. We even get together now and then and do it. Just for old time's sake. It doesn't mean anything. I was over him in a flash.
You didn't love him, not the way we love Gary and Ted.
I bet I did. We just got tired of each other faster.
Well, if Ted ever gets tired of me, I'll die.
If he hasn't gotten tired of you by now, I don't suppose he ever will.
Well, we're very compatible. We want the same things. A home, children, security.
I don't want any of that. Right now, all I want is that lousy degree and my plane ticket.
I don't know what I want. Kathy, I bet you'll miss college, the sorority, and all the fun. You've been a better co-ed than we have.
A better co-ed? Gee, thanks.
If we're all not lucky, we'll probably end up in the same junior league somewhere.
Well, I hope so. What if we didn't?
What if we didn't?
We work so well together. Maybe we'll be head of the Kappa alumni group.
Before I do anything, I have to get a job.
It's like starting all over. If I wasn't getting married, I'd be so scared. I'd have to get a job. There I'd be with a degree in music. What would I do with it?
I still can't believe you ended up in music.
Thank God I ended up in something. I just kept taking classes in the music department. I'd always go to registration and stand around in line trying to decide what to take. The tables for math and English and science and everything else were always so crowded and I just didn't know what to do. But then I passed by the music department table and there wouldn't be a line, so I'd sign up for a few more music courses. Before you know it, I had all the credits I needed for a degree. I never wanted to study music.
And I wanted to study psychology, but me with the world's messiest student ended up in interior design.
Kathy's the only one of us who knew what she wanted and got it.
A degree in PE.
I wish I had a degree in something I liked.
I guess I'll teach.
You should. You're so good at organizing.
They could just keep my lousy degree. I don't know any more about interior design than I did 4 years ago.
How can you say that? Your work is always on display in the art department. They think you're swell.
They're fools.
They are?
They'd say, Mary, what color would you do a room in? And I think of the two worst colors. I do the walls hot pink and the furniture lime green. They'd go into shock. Pretty soon, I was the only person in the department who didn't want to do the entire world beige. Started to think of me as an avant-garde. Little did they know, I didn't give a damn.
Well, I think you've got talent. When Ted and I get our first place, you can come over and arrange the furniture.
Thanks. But no thanks.
And I envy you, Kathy. Here I am content to be a homemaker, and Mary wants to see the world. You want to help others. Kathy, you're a good person, even if you do keep things to yourself.
You'll probably be the only one of us to ever earn a living. I just want to travel, meet up with someone with plenty of money, and live with them.
I'm real disappointed and depressed about that, Mary. Your mother would have a fit if she ever knew how you've thrown your morals down the toilet.
My mother continually has fits. I wish she'd give up on me.
Mine won't give up until I'm married. She says it's the only thing she's looked forward to since the day I was born.
I guess we should throw you a shower. Somewhere between sing-song and graduation, we should throw you a shower.
It's real nice, but you don't have to do that.
Just tell us what you want so we can tell the girls.
Well, I figure that all of the family and Mother's good friends will get me crystal and silver and all that stuff. And all Mother's other friends, the ones she never sees, will get me pots and linens and useful things. So between Mother's good and bad friends, I'll get a pretty good haul.
Well, what about a kitchen shower? Odds and ends of the kitchen, like can openers, butcher knives, and stuff.
What would the girls in the sorority know about that? Most of them have never even seen a kitchen.
Well, then what about a personal shower? Lingerie and things for the garage.
Sounds embarrassing.
And what would Joanne do with 40 nightgowns? Or, come to think of it, you could probably use the nightgowns.
Well, what about a green and white shower?
Lime green?
Everybody has to bring something that's either green or white.
Like my chosen colors.
That's just dumb enough to work.
And we can have it in the garden. That's green already. And I could build some giant chicken wire bells. And then a definitely colored cleaner. Oh,
Well, that's neat.
then it's settled. That's one more thing to do this spring.
This spring will kill me yet. With rushed graduation and planning this wedding, I'm going to make Ted do some of the work. We've got to find an apartment.
Why not just stay in Ted's place?
It was just awful. Boys don't care what they live in. If I had to live in that dump, I'd just scream.
It doesn't even have a pool.
What would you do?
Mary, I just don't know. I really don't.
I hadn't even thought about a place to live after graduation.
Well, Ted and I want a place near law school. That way he can walk to classes. Why not get an apartment next door to us?
I don't see any point staying near campus. I'm not going to graduate school.
Well, Ted has to. I mean, if he doesn't, he'll get drafted. If he went to Vietnam, I'd just die.
Well, I guess I'll get an apartment next to my job, wherever that ends up being.
I hope it's not too far away. With Ted in school, I'll need someone to talk to. I want you both nearby.
I'm not making any plans past Euro.
Well, of course we'll get together for homecoming and football games. The sorority will need us to make sure things are done right. What could the campus do without you, Kathy?
I don't know, but as soon as they give you that diploma, they expect you to get out of here. Do something. Be someone.
I plan to do something. Someone.
Now enough of this talk. You're both acting childish.
Well, we're not all as grown up as you, Joanne.
I know.
Remember when we were little girls and people used to ask us what we wanted to be when we grew up?
I wanted to be a nurse. And then I wanted to be a stripper. And then I wanted to be a psychologist.
Well, I wanted to be a wife. Just a wife and mother.
But didn't we want something else?
We all wanted to be pretty.
Well, I think you two are pretty. I mean, you're just attractive.
And popular.
Well, we are popular.
And cheerleaders and sorority girls.
We've done it all. We ran the gamut.
But didn't you want anything else?
I wanted to get away from home. God, more than anything, I wanted freedom.
More than anything?
Sure. More than anything, I wanted to do as I like.
Well, what about you?
More than anything?
Yes.
Well, Ted, of course.
Of course.
Did you want Gary more than anything? Or should I ask? Is it too painful?
I bet more than anything you want to teach.
Oh, I know. More than anything, you wanted to be head cheerleader in college. You should have been.
I give up.
Me too. We told you what we wanted. Now you tell us.
I can't.
There you go with those secrets again.
I mean, I can't because I don't know.
Haven't a clue?
Not an idea.
Well, I think that you should have been the interior decorator. Look at all you can do with decorations.
If I could organize like you, I would have studied something like urban planning or Planned Parenthood.
What will I do? I'll teach.
Jesus, Kathy, if you're gonna get all upset about this, why don't you just drop the subject?
Look on the bright side, Kathy.
You never know what will happen.
Life's full of surprises.
All this worry for nothing.
I hate my life.
How dare you talk like that? It's been fun. Just think, we could have turned out like all those girls in high school who weren't popular.
How did they turn out?
I don't know, I guess unpopular.
I'm just saying that after college ends, I'm going to be awfully lonely.
You never have been. Why would you be now?
Because I'll bet that in the past 10 years, we haven't spent a single day apart.
That's not true. Remember that one summer when you taught at that girls' camp? I went to Mexico and Joanne went to summer school because Ted went to summer school.
We were apart for 3 whole months, and in the fall we were closer than ever before.
Being apart didn't change things.
Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
I just don't have a plan.
Well, let's make a plan. We'll get together every Wednesday afternoon. That's our schedule now. Kappa officers meeting every Wednesday. Why change it? Mary, when you get back from Europe, you'd like to see Kathy every week, wouldn't you?
Just as soon as I'm back, I'll be there every Wednesday.
We'll go to movies and shop. I wouldn't know how to buy anything if it wasn't for you. Isn't that right, Mary?
She is dependent on your fashion taste.
And you can decorate for all my parties. And we'll join a country club. You can teach us how to play tennis and golf. Mary and I should learn to play. Well, say something, Mary.
It is time that I got into sports.
No matter what happens, Kathy, we 3 have each other.
KKG.
KKG. KKG eternally.
She's right. We all love each other.
So cheer up. Let's all go out and go somewhere. I'd kill for a pizza.
Don't you have to meet Ted?
And he told me to get lost this afternoon. He's going to some kind of demonstration. Politics.
Well, I wish they would stop protesting. You can't go anywhere in this campus without somebody shoving a picket sign in your face.
Well, I told Ted I didn't know how to understand why he had to get involved. I mean, it's not like the Viet Cong are bombing the campus.
I protested when they decided to close the student snack bar at midnight. It had always stayed open till 1.
Well, that was a good cause. It directly affected you. But Ted says that he's protesting because the war bothers his conscience. He can't stand that he was killing women and children. And I said, Ted, control your conscience. You don't even know these people.
You didn't say that.
Of course I did. Don't be stupid.
But the way it's going to be a fight to keep the sorority together.
What we need is an interesting activity calendar for this spring. Enough social events to keep girls' minds off current events.
We'll rush those pledges like we've never rushed before.
We're losing 10 good girls, including ourselves at graduation. We need 10 more perfect people to fill in. Keep Kappa 40 strong.
You know, that's what CAP is all about. Noble, noble women with the key to the kingdom of God. KKG.
I am a noble, noble woman with the key to the kingdom of God. Kappa the key, Kappa the kingdom, Gamma of God. Kappa, Kappa, Gamma.
I don't want to see it end. I'm scared.
It's easy to be scared.
Are you?
Scared? Why do you think I'm going to Europe?
Well, to see the world.
To avoid it. I'm running scared.
I wish I could run.
I wish you could too, Kathy. But you've always done what's right, what's expected. I can't. I never could. But don't worry, Kathy. For once, stop planning. Just let life happen. Don't think about it.
I agree, Kathy. Mary's right. Don't think. I've always found that it's better not to think. But he didn't understand me. I wish I Finally, I parked the car and got a cab. The driver got me here. Oh, I thought I'd die.
But you got here.
Finally. Oh, Kathy, you look good. You really do.
Oh, you too.
No, I do not. I look the same.
Champagne?
I don't know if I should. If I get drunk this afternoon, I'll never get back to the car, wherever it is. I have to pick up the kids by 4 and get back to the country and fix dinner before Ted gets home. So I guess you better give me tea. This is love.
How sweet.
1 teaspoon.
I meant... Oh, skip it. So how are the kids?
Oh, they're big. They grow up right before your eyes. And little Kathy always asks about her big Aunt Kathy.
Well, I hope to see her soon.
Well, you know you can come to the country anytime. It's an open invitation. We just asked and asked you to come, and you never did. So it's an open invitation.
I'll come soon.
At last year's Christmas party back after some snow, and I got so worried. I wondered what had happened to you.
I moved a lot.
Well, you really should put your name on that buzzer out front. If I hadn't had the apartment number, I never would have known that you lived here. Maybe the postman doesn't realize.
I must do that.
Anyway, you must come for the 4th of July. Ted and little Kathy want you to, and we've never even seen Ted Jr. and little Mary.
God, it has been a long time.
Ted Jr.'s 3 and little Mary's 1 now.
Then little Kathy must be 5. 1 every 2 years.
That's right. We want 4, 2 and 2, so I've got 1 boy to go.
Are you working on it?
Just 3 more months and it'll be time to start again. Did you know that I spent over a third of my married life pregnant?
Well, at least you've had 2/3 of your married life other things.
What other things?
Mary.
Wait, Kathy, don't run so fast. I'll get lost. I'll be damned. I'll be double damned. Oh, this is too much. Just look at you.
Oh, come in, you look great.
The outfit, I never had the nerve. It's great. Pretty expensive, all that. Wherever did you pick that up?
Nana
Nana?
of Soho.
Oh, well, I wouldn't know about that. You know me, Mrs. Peckapack.
Oh, everybody sit down.
Kathy, I'm sorry I'm so late, but
Oh, don't worry about it. I was late, too.
Good. Anyway, I tried running into the stenographer once over.
What's an Andre?
They do my hair.
You just had your hair done?
Well, I was late as usual. Missed the appointment. I threw fit, they threw fit. The world of beauty waits for no one. So anyway, I zipped through Bendel's. Something caught my eye. I tried it
And
on.
you bought it.
Yes, I bought it. It's a Chloe. Do you like Chloe?
I don't know what to say.
Just pick up a Vogue. They'll tell you what to say. So there I was, already late, but Rizzoli's had been trying for ages to get me this huge airtight looking Italian. While I was on 57th Street, I ran in.
You read Italian?
Of course not.
Well, what good is a book in Italian if you can't even read it?
It's pretty. It's a pretty book.
Oh.
So here I am now with all these silly bundles. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. I'm headed straight for a cocktail bash for Bella after this.
Well, maybe she won't care if you bring bundles.
Busy, busy. Kathy, this is so cute.
What's cute?
Your garden apartment. Cute.
Well, you know, back at our house, we have a huge old garden. But I guess in the city, gardens must be hard to come by.
Honey, everybody and his dog wants a garden apartment.
Kathy, could I switch to champagne?
Sure. Mary?
Vodka martini on the rocks with a twist.
We have tea or champagne?
For a second there, I forgot I wasn't in a bar. Right, this is a tea party. I'll have champagne.
Oh, this is good. Is it domestic or imported?
Domestic.
That's good. You know, I tried to make pate, but I just can't. It's so hard.
It's bought.
Of course it is. We city girls don't have time to whip up pate.
Well, it's so good. If I would have known you could buy it like that, I wouldn't have even tried to make it. Yum.
So how have you girls been?
Just fine and dandy.
Just fine.
Good. And you?
Just dandy.
So do you still have your little art shop?
Gallery.
Gallery. Well, how's the little gallery?
Big. You should come and see it. I've doubled my space in the last 2 years.
Then you're doing well.
You should see it.
Well, you know, Ted and I got a couple of invitations to your shows, but Ted's so busy all the time. I never get in. He comes into the office, but I never get in.
How is Teddy?
He's fine. You know, for a while I was worried. He wanted to drop his corporate and go into criminal law. Boy, was I relieved when he didn't. I hated the thought of him being around convicts all the time.
I guess you sleep better now.
Well, between the house and the kids, there's not much time for sleep. We have a huge old place that we've done ourselves from top to bottom. And we did our own decorating. You should see it. Me, a decorator.
Well, I bet it's as cute as a bug's ear.
Oh, it is. 6 bedrooms. 1 for us, 1 for guests, and 4 for the kids.
I thought you had 3.
How did you know that? The last time I saw you, I had 1.5.
Kathy told me.
I did? But I hadn't talked
Sure
to
you did.
Well, we have 3 now, but we're going to have another boy.
Of course, how stupid of me.
More champagne? Just a tiny drop. Oh, Kathy, this is so nice. Leave it to you to finally get us together after over 3 years.
3 years.
Well, over 3 since I've seen Kathy and 4 since I saw you last.
4 years.
10 years since high school. Senior 64. 6 since college.
Jesus, time flies.
Funny, I'd given up hope. I didn't think we'd be able to go a day without each other. It didn't seem like you'd ever come back from Europe, but finally Kathy just dropped out of sight. But here we are. I just knew we'd all be in the same place. It took years, but here we are. Me with a home and family, Mary with a gallery, and Kathy with a garden apartment.
What have you been up to, Kathy, besides getting that garden into shape?
Not much.
Oh, come on, you can't fool me. I bet you're still queen of the hop.
Or Queen of the Bay.
Or football queen.
I just can't believe we all ended up in New York.
You live in Connecticut.
Yes, but I almost live in New York, and you two do. Did you ever think when we were little girls that we'd be sitting here in this apartment in New York?
Never crossed my mind.
Of course, I'm in Connecticut because Ted's work is in New York. But why did you decide to live here, Kathy?
Just drifted this way.
Wasn't that funny? I bet it's because you're single. New York must be wonderful for single girls. Isn't that right, Mary?
Oh, it's an absolute haven for horny girls.
Huh. So, do you hear from any of the Kappas? You know, I was so good about going to the alumni meetings until Ted got transferred to Columbia. Then when Ted Jr. came along, I didn't have a minute to get re-involved. New kid, new part of the country, you know how it is. Do you keep up?
No.
Well, I really miss all of it, but I swear I just don't have the time. I get my Kappa newsletter, but it just sits there until finally I throw it away.
I don't even give mine time to sit.
I guess I should be more involved. I mean, before you know it, it'll be time for little Kathy to go off to college, and of course I want her to be a Kappa.
Of course.
So, the last time I saw you, you were with some guy.
No kidding.
Thanksgiving 1970. That's right, you had just gotten back from Europe. You were with that guy. What was his name? Ted and I really liked it.
What was his name?
Oh, you know, Alfredo, Ricardo, it ended with an O.
Oh, Alonzo.
Yeah, that's right. Whatever happened to him?
Yeah, I give up.
Funny, I thought you might have married him or something.
Just as something.
So, who do you see now?
What?
Who do you date? Are you engaged, in love? What? I'm just trying to find out what's happened. You never even phoned me.
She means what's the dirt, Mary?
The dirt is, Mary shacked up with Alonzo for a while.
Then what?
Then made out with dozens of others for a few years.
Nice man?
Mostly men.
Oh.
And now Mary's doing it with the best in the long line of budding artists.
Well, I hope it works out.
Works out.
The way you want it.
Well, he's beautiful and blonde and 20, and it's just the way I want it.
Oh my God, he does stuff for your gallery?
That's right. I exhibit him.
Well, what does he do?
Erotic art.
What?
He does erotic art in neon.
For heaven's sake, Kathy, could I have some more champagne? And what's this? It looks like tuna fish. I love tuna.
It's crab.
Oh, I like crab even better. You know, the last time I had people over, I said a crab dip. Do you make that?
Not in your life.
Well, it's really simple. Don't be afraid. You just take a package of Philadelphia cream cheese, a package of frozen crab, and whip it up with some sour cream. Snap!
Sounds snappy.
You know, I admire all those people who do things from scratch. But I just don't have the time. Of course I have help, but time is of the essence.
Yes, it's,
So do you two have help?
I'm pretty independent.
I'm simply helpless.
Well, of course, Kathy, you do your own housework, but surely you have a gardener.
No, it's a tiny garden.
So it is. Well, you keep this place as neat as a pin. You should see our place. Toys and junk all over the creation. And our lawn is a jungle. Then again, our place is huge. I wish we could entertain more. I bet you throw a lot of parties, Kathy.
Why would you think that?
Oh, you were always so good at entertaining. We would have never had a single party if it hadn't been for you. You planned them all.
You know, Kathy, I'm surprised. This is so simple. No tea party theme, giant chicken wire teacups.
Kathy, it's lovely. I could never organize a tea party.
I don't know why I didn't think of you until just now. I should exhibit you at my gallery.
I don't know anything about erotic art.
I don't feel bad, me neither.
I can create a whole show around you. Just picture it. Erotic visions and Kleenex.
All right. So we've got great mileage out of my chicken wire and Kleenex. Always have. Now, can we please drop it?
I'm sorry.
Forget it.
I don't seem to know when to stop, do I?
The boys used to say that about you.
Let's just relax and talk.
I am relaxed. I'm letting my hair down for the first time in years.
Her hair.
Mary.
Sorry. So do you teach close by?
No.
Because if you did, you could walk to work. Did you think of something funny?
I don't teach anymore.
Oh my God, I thought you loved to teach.
Well, I got tired of it.
Oh, I tell you, I get so tired of working.
Jesus, you work?
Well, I'm a homemaker and that's a big job. And get this, you're going to die. I direct the junior choir at church. I work for Jesus. I finally found a way to use my music.
I could just die.
Isn't that funny, Kathy?
Yes.
What do you do now? I just can't believe you stopped teaching.
I don't work now.
Oh my God, I thought you loved to work.
Yeah, it depressed me.
Kathy, you're the hardest working girl I've ever known. There's no way you're going to convince me that you hated work.
It wasn't the work, really. It was the students. I loathed my students.
What thing to say? How could you loathe children?
Because they hated me.
Well, I hated some of my teachers too, but I needed them. What would pupils do without teachers?
I don't know. All I do know is that the girls I was teaching did not need to learn a thing about sex ed or playing games. They know me more than I did.
To be young again.
28, then 29, then 30. I want no more birthday parties.
Joanne, no more birthday cakes with ballerinas on top. No more horns or funny hats. How could you bear it?
Not for me. For my children, but not for me.
What about you, Kathy? Any festive plans for your 30th birthday? Any desire to turn that garden into a living room? I'm sorry.
That was so pretty, I could cry. Seems like only yesterday.
It was 10 years ago.
Well, yes, but wouldn't it be fun to go back?
Fun.
To simply be girls again. We all met when we first joined the Brownies, remember? How do you think about when we were growing up, don't you, Kathy?
It was a simple time.
Then we went from Brownies to Girl Scouts, then came high school and college, and we grew up.
Simples.
What?
She said we grew up simples.
Huh, wasn't it wonderful?
She didn't get it, Kathy.
Did you? How I would love to act silly and dopey and laugh. I hate having to be so grown up and mature.
Mature, you.
Well, of course, Mary, you were always more mature than us. Or should I say progressive?
Say whichever you like.
Well, I think mature is the word. Only a mature person could go it alone in Europe the way you did.
No mature person would have done what I did in Europe.
Well, I don't care what you did. All I'm saying is that it took a lot of nerve for you to go so far away all by yourself alone.
What makes you think that I was alone?
We weren't with you.
You've never been, have you?
To Europe? Me? What would I do in Europe? I'd get lost.
That's exactly what I did.
You got lost?
I became the perfect lost person. I slept my way from Rome to Amsterdam. Became sort of a naughty nomad.
That's not what I meant about getting lost.
I hated my parents for making me come back. Thought I'd teach them a lesson when I came back. I was chic, I was sophisticated, I was smoking pot, and I looked like a cross between Sally Bowles and Sheena Queen of the Jungle.
Were your parents shocked? Heaven knows I'd be.
My father said something about how nice it was to have his little girl home. And my mother said that she would take me to her hairdresser right away. Welcome home never felt so much like hate. I spent 2 years of my life trying to change, and nobody noticed. Still treating me like the same stupid girl.
God, were we lucky to be stupid, or were we just stupid?
Lucky or stupid? I choose lucky.
So then we moved to New York?
Ran to New York. Called a few rich men I'd met in New York and convinced them to set me up at the gallery. I'm still indebted to them, in one way or the other.
Why did you choose a gallery for erotic art?
What else would an exhibitionist choose?
Well, your mother doesn't know about it.
She's been told.
The last time I ran into her, she told me you were running a Hallmark card shop. Of course, I knew that wasn't true, but I didn't say anything. I thought maybe you didn't want her to know.
I really don't care either way. Let her tell her friends I'm running a card shop. It's easier than saying my daughter sells porn. It does bother me, however, that those bitches back home think I work for Hallmark. It's one of those companies they look up to, like Avon or Tupperware.
What about you, Kath? Ever go home? No.
I'll be damned if I can figure out what it is you do.
I bet you go back to teaching someday.
I bet I don't.
You'd always planned on a teaching career.
I had my teaching career.
And you chucked it?
Became a high school dropout.
Was the work too hard?
No, I did everything right. I was well organized with perfectly planned lessons. I organized all the pep rallies and was sponsored for the cheerleaders.
Did you teach them some of our old yells?
I tried. I wanted my girls to have the same fun we had in high school. So every day for 3 years, I showed up in a gym suit and tried to teach my girls the value of pep. They just weren't that interested in being peppy.
So you quit?
They felt ridiculous.
Then I'm glad you quit.
Well, then what'd you do? You didn't look for another job?
No,
You did nothing?
nothing but sit around this apartment day and night.
I can't imagine you sitting still for a minute.
I learned how. I read a lot. I made a list of all those books that you're supposed to read in college, the ones that they assign but you never actually read. A lot of them are really good. A lot better than those Monarch notes. And I started to think a lot. It's funny, but I don't ever remember looking at the stars before I began to sit in that garden for hours on end.
What'd you think about?
Death, eternity, even God. And I prayed for someone, some miracle to show me what it was that I wanted.
Did you find someone?
No,
Did you get your miracle?
no, but I prayed to those ridiculous stars every night as if I expected them to answer me.
They didn't.
Joanne, only noble women with the keys of the kingdom of God wish upon stars and expect them to answer. Simple girls without a single cause.
Don't get me started on causes. I gave up on causes the night McGovern lost.
You would be in politics.
I vote.
So I assume you consider yourself a liberated woman, a bra burner?
I did burn my bra once.
Really?
I staged the whole thing. It was after a gallery opening. I just whipped off my bra, threw it in a wastebasket, and set it on fire. The crowd loved it.
And that liberated you?
Christ, it was a joke. Remember jokes?
Well, you two make life sound awful. I don't want my kids to know about causes and brassieres. There's no need. I won't let them know.
Then they'll grow up like us.
Well, what's wrong with that? I'm glad we grew up when we did. We were happy and carefree, and everyone loved us.
Did they?
Well, we were the most popular.
Do you remember those girls in high school who were unpopular?
Why should I remember them? They never did anything.
What did we do?
Everything. We organized school dances and pep rallies. We were involved in school activities. Now you face it, you would have hated not being popular.
I taught the girls who hated it. The type that would sit alone at lunch with a book and never had steady boyfriends or won contests. High school was their punishment for not being cute and clever. And for a while, I looked at them and felt pity. Gee, poor unpopular girls. But then, I realized that maybe I deserved a little bit of the pity. After all, I started out as the most popular girl.
This all reeks of self-pity.
Why is it wrong to be liked?
Because we didn't learn a damn thing other than how to be very, very popular.
Well, maybe the unpopular girls didn't learn a damn thing either.
Our silly causes didn't have an ounce of meaning.
You have no right to make me feel guilty. I was happy then and I'm happy now.
Mary, are you happy?
I own my own business. I need no one. Neurotic art might not be noble, but at least it's bought me my freedom.
And I know that's important to you.
What?
To be free.
You bet.
So now that you are, what are you going to do?
Did you?
Well, yeah. On your tombstone, is it going to say, "Here lies Mary. She was free."
On my tombstone? Don't write me off yet, Joanne. I'm very much alive.
Yes, but life is to be shared with someone you love and care about. There's no point in being alone or hopping from bed to bed. That leads nowhere. It's not too late for either one of you to find a husband. There's a lot to be said for marriage.
Like what?
Children. Precious, darling, adorable children.
Well, I'll just let you have the children, Joanne. You can do the propagating for both of us. I'll stick to pornography. Less obscene.
I would never let my kids see pornography.
I don't sell it to kids.
Well, I even stopped taking the National Geographic because of all the naked Africans in it.
Your poor children.
Well, they're mine, and I'll do what's best for them because they're mine.
Then for God's sake, don't let them anywhere near a National Geographic. They might just learn something about geography, if they're not beating off the Africans.
Well, I don't know how you can take any pride in selling film. Ted wanted to see your shows, but I didn't want to. I'd get embarrassed.
Well, that's you, Joanne.
Well, no decent woman would sell trash.
It's a business. If a guy's got $5 to throw away on a sexual fantasy, he goes to a porno house or a dirty bookstore. If he's got $500, he goes to a gallery. He doesn't buy his suit at Klein's, he doesn't work on the West Side, and he doesn't get his kicks off 8th Avenue. He comes to me.
But when we were young, we used to laugh at smut.
I still laugh at it. Just yesterday, I sold a sculpture. $2,500 for a 6-foot neon erection.
That's silly.
Of course it's silly. I thought it was silly, and the jerk who bought it thought it was silly.
Well, why would you pay $2,500 for a neon erection?
Because you could never have one himself.
Well, what can you do with it? You can't very well put it in the living room, not with children around.
We don't all have children. Would you shut up about those stupid kids?
I have beautiful children. You don't know the joy of motherhood.
Well, I know the relief of abortion.
Mary, how could you?
By choice. Telephone.
Right inside.
Never been so upset. You want children, don't you, Kathy?
Well, yes.
Well, I'm glad, and I hope you have a house full.
We'll see.
I just want you to know the joy that I've known. Old Mary's too sexed up to know, but you, Kathy, I could just cry. I knew it wouldn't be the same. Ted said I shouldn't come. He said people change.
You said I was right?
I just thought we'd have something in common.
And we do.
You're so cynical and Mary's so wild. Tell me that deep down inside, we're all just the same.
Probably. But I'd like to think, Joel, some things inside of us.
Champagne. Give me champagne.
Who did the painting?
Painting?
Over the mantle.
I forget.
It's nice. This whole place is nice.
Thank you.
And that Chesterfield sofa looks really expensive.
It's leather.
Such taste. I don't know what I'd do if I had your taste.
And that pre-Columbian piece is worth a fortune.
Not really.
No, really. And these glasses? Waterford?
I guess.
No, they're Baccarat.
What's your point, Mary?
Kathy, whose apartment is this?
Well, it's Kathy's.
It belongs to a friend.
A mother?
A friend.
It's not yours?
No.
Oh, no.
Well, you've got good taste in friends.
So where do you live?
Here.
But it's not yours.
No.
Confused.
Well, don't be confused, Joanne. She's obviously not going to tell us.
There's nothing to tell. This is not my apartment in the sense that I own. I don't. This is, however, my apartment in the sense that I live here. I do.
Kept?
Negotiate.
Good deal. Is this your cause, Kathy?
I should go. I've had enough.
Joanne, how rude. Did you hear that, Kathy? She's had enough of us.
I have to find my car.
What does it look like?
It's white.
Oh, you should have no trouble finding it then.
I wish I could say how happy I am, but things didn't turn out right. I thought we'd talk about Kappa and fun times. We got sidetracked.
Wasn't much of a tea party, was it?
Kathy, if I thought you didn't care, I don't know what I'd do.
Probably get drunk.
Oh, shut up. Go ahead and make fun of me. At least I won't end up old and lonely like you will.
I hope not.
I don't need a neon prick for kicks.
Not with Ted around. He's pretty good in bed.
Mary!
If I believe that, I'd kill you. Since I don't, I'll ignore it. Goodbye, Kathy. Mary, go screw yourself.
Tell Teddy hello for me.
I'm going home right now and changing little Mary's name.
Come on. I always loved you. Joanne. Forget it.
All gone. I told the driver to take her to Ted's office. She'd never get back to the country on her own. So now instead of taking the train, he can drive her.
I'll be thrilled.
I should probably call him.
Let her be a surprise.
He doesn't like her to drink. She has a problem.
How do you know?
Ted calls me. He talks. I listen.
Well, Joanne's his problem. She's his, not yours or mine.
How long?
A year or two. I was in the gallery whenever he knew something erotic.
But why would you?
I guess it was the last act of sharing.
Jealousy, maybe?
Jealous? Because Joanne got her fantasy from beginning to end? Never. You?
Oh, I was once. When I first moved in here, I wanted marriage more than anything. But the longer I waited for it to happen, the less it mattered. Now Joanne can just have her whole dream come true.
She's got it.
Besides, what I have here is better for me because, for once, I didn't plan it.
I don't believe my ears. You didn't plan any of this?
No.
You got all of this without a list.
And isn't it nice?
Well, why did you have us come here?
I thought you'd be good for a couple of laughs.
Isn't it funny how things Nothing.
Nothing will look funny.
Shall we toast to our bygone days?